You're here. You're here for the Aftercast. I'm Chris St. Clair. Chris Scott will be with me in a minute. We're also going to catch up with Kim MacDonald, but let's get comfortable. The idea of the Aftercast is, now that you've seen our summer forecast, and if you missed any of it, online you'll be able to read about the forecast province by province, major city by major city. But the idea of the Aftercast is, if you have any questions, we would like to answer them now, live, and online. First stop on our way to visit Chris Scott and Kim MacDonald to get your questions answered is this piece of equipment. The reason why I wanted to stop here, if you watch the Weather Network on television, you know that your local forecast updates constantly. So we have 1,300 of these computers to 1,300 different cities. But wait, there's more. If you use the Weather Network on a tablet or on a smartphone, there's literally thousands of places that we forecast to. They're all updated on computers like that. So we're glad you're here. The idea is to answer some of your questions. And actually, we got a question. I want to just right off the top start with this one, because Alma in Antigonish, Nova Scotia, on Facebook sent us this question, and she said it was absolutely critical that it be answered. So we're gonna you're first, Alma. If you know Alma, quickly message her and tell her that we're about to answer a question. She wants to know if you'll be able to see the Aurora Borealis in Nova Scotia this summer. The Aurora Borealis, the northern lights, are actually geomagnetic storms that emanate from the sun. So it's a pulse of energy that is emitted from the sun during a flare. What happens is that energy interacts with the ions in our upper atmosphere. If it's strong enough, then you can see the northern lights as far south as Nova Scotia. Forecasting solar weather is a really interesting, tricky, and developing science. Space weather is at about the stage today where meteorological weather forecasting was in 1930. So we're not nearly as accurate as in forecasting space weather as we are in forecasting the terrestrial weather that happens on Earth. But there's a couple of really good websites that you can go to. Flare Aware is one of them, and they forecast about 24 to 48 hours in advance when there will be solar flares and the opportunity to see the Aurora Borealis or Northern Lights. Alma also wanted to know what the summer would be like in Nova Scotia. It will be a good summer. We want to watch Atlantic hurricane season, though. It could be active. So anyway, use the hashtag Aftercast and send us your questions. Come on, we're going to no man's land for a man, because this is the ladies' dressing room here at the Weather Network. Come on in.
Hey, you're supposed to knock.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Kim MacDonald.
Hello, everybody. I was just watching the summer forecast.
And?
It looks good.
Good.
I like it. I mean, I'm a summer person, so I guess it depends. I have a lot of people on Facebook, I have to tell you, Chris, who love fall, spring. They don't like it too hot. They don't like anything over, 18 degrees. I'm not one of them.
No, you like it cold.
Yeah, I like it cold. I like it hot.
Okay,
yeah.
so 5 fast questions
All right.
then. Okay?
Okay.
Beach or pool?
Used to be beach, now it's pool.
Okay. Winter, spring, summer, fall, other. Your favorite?
Summer, by far, by a landslide.
Okay. Clam bake, barbecue?
Barbecue. Only because I haven't ever done a clam bake, but that's probably
The
fine.
ocean or a lake to swim in?
Oh, the ocean.
Air conditioning or fan?
I know, for somebody who likes it hot, I'm going to have to say AC, even though that kind of goes against what I'm saying. But yeah, I think I like an AC.
That gets right to one of our questions, because we
All right.
got a question from Newfoundland, and the question from St. John's was, should I buy air conditioning? I live in St. John's, Newfoundland.
For this summer.
For this summer in particular.
And both of us, we've talked about this, and we say no any summer. Any summer. What you need is a good fan for the 2, maybe 3 days that the temperatures are warm enough to be uncomfortable.
See, I'm from Halifax, and I remember as a kid warm days and humid days, and I even remember recently there being spells of humid weather. But you have the benefit of the Atlantic Ocean for all 4 Atlantic provinces, and a sea breeze will do the trick. I mean, it can be close and humid, but a fan will do that. But you don't have that oppressive 3-4 week period like they do in Ontario, where it's just there's no relief.
Yeah, there's no relief. If you can't get near something cool, then you're in big trouble.
Okay.
But Fredericton can get hot and dry. They're a little bit too far from the water, I think.
They get the muggy days.
Yeah.
But anyway, invest the money instead, perhaps at the Liquor Control Board.
And a bag of ice.
Yeah.
Too. Right? Yeah, you'll be fine. Okay, Susie, next.
Next stop
Yeah.
is where we destroy the magic, because
Oh, no.
yeah, well, somebody has to do it.
I think she's all right. Yeah.
Oh,
We're good?
which one?
Suzanne's in Studio B.
Oh, well, see, we were.
Well.
Talk about destroying the
By the way,
magic.
we have studios here, and they're named Alpha and Bravo. But this is where we destroy the magic.
Yes. Come on in for the green screen. I'm going to hold the door.
Is she? There she is.
Oh, there's Suzanne.
Oh, hello.
Suzanne.
You're just in time,
Meet
Chris.
the
We're going
internet.
live.
Oh. Well, I'll step back.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
I'll bring you in one moment. How's that?
Okay.
And the Weather Watch continues. It's
gonna be so
9:37
exciting.
Eastern, 6:37 Pacific. The scene in Toronto, beautiful summer day. The first time that Toronto Pearson hit 29 degrees since, well, you remember, right, how long it's been? It's been over 8 months. Yeah, the dog days of summer seem to have arrived. Or have they? Well, it's been a very exciting time here at the Weather Network. National high temperatures on this Tuesday. Yeah, we get 29 and 26 and 24 in a number of places. And in Western Canada, we've had some very hot weather as well. As we look ahead to your summer forecast, 16 in Calgary right now, 19 in Winnipeg. I've got some special guests here in the studio right now. I don't know whether to bring them in or throw to the aftercast. Come on over, guys.
Oh,
Or-
gee whiz.
yeah, come on over.
So nice
We
to
got,
be
we got Chris. Kim, come on this
Here he
side.
is. All right, hello.
We're live. We have
Yes.
the summer forecast on air this evening. Now, I'm the only one with a mic on for live national television, but if you talk loud, they'll be able to hear. So what are you doing right now?
So, in case you missed the forecast, if you go on the weathernetwork.com right now, if you have any questions about the forecast, how it pertains to where you live, if you want to know about tornadoes, you want to know about Atlantic hurricane season, we'll answer all of those questions live online on the weathernetwork.com after
Fantastic.
we watch you.
So
Yes.
after you get your forecast right now,
Yes.
summer forecast and exclusive here at the Weather Network. You were involved, Kim. Are you happy with what you saw? And it is going to be repeating again and again tonight on the web as well.
I love how this summer is looking, but it could be subjective.
Okay, well, we'll compare tans.
All right.
And we'll continue with the forecast.
We'll
And
get on
it's
your way.
live
Yes.
on the web, and it's fantastic stuff. And if you're wondering, what's all this excitement? What's she talking about? Let's bring up the aftercast right now. And we can't do it yet? Okay, we'll come back to that in just a moment. Current conditions. Scott, let me know when we can go to that live. TheWeatherNetwork.com is where you can find out more. And, of course, we're live streaming, not just there, but on YouTube as well. You go to our homepage. Oh, and there's Kim and Chris. And maybe just a slight delay in that feed there. No, okay, we'll go back to it a little bit later on the program. Guys, thank you so
Oh,
much.
no, thank you.
They're just on
Bye.
camera here. It's going to be lots of fun. And you need to know the latest information, of course. It's an
So that was kinda neat.
summer forecast.
Wasn't it?
And let's face it.
We're
is
live.
a
I know,
mountain.
but that was neat. It was fun.
We've got some
So, and this is
strong
we work in these green rooms, so a computer paints all the maps imaginary behind us, right?
Yep, the chroma key, or the key wall is what we call it.
And Walt Disney invented that.
See, I didn't know that.
Well, I made it up.
Did you? That's good.
Hey, we have
CGI.
a question already.
Okay.
Noah G, who goes as GasCon 386 in Windsor, Ontario, wants to know how many days do we expect would be over 30 Celsius in Windsor, Ontario this summer?
Ah, that's tough to predict. Although I'm thinking probably a lot more than last summer.
I'm going to say so, but I know the person who would likely know, Chris Scott.
Yes, Chris Scott knows all. He'll be saying, I don't know if I want to get that specific about the 30 degrees, but
Well, you know, if you were to talk about Humidex, 15 would be a good number to go with, but Humidex is a different beast.
and you know we're seeing 30-degree temps this week, and it's still May. Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, certainly Windsor will see temperatures top at 30, and Humidex much higher.
Okay. We're supposed to make a stop here.
There he is.
There he is, over there.
Supposed to see Robin.
You're not following the script, Kim, and I'm going to kick
Robin's
you off
MIA.
of this. Come on in here. This is kind of neat. And I didn't mean to yell.
That's okay.
I'm supposed to control my anger. You know, the Weather Network, there's Chris Scott. We broadcast all across the country, but we actually have specific feeds for Atlantic Canada, for the Toronto area, for Alberta, for British Columbia, for everybody on satellite, and for everybody on cable. And they're all managed out of this room simultaneously. It's a lot of work.
Here's the man behind it all. No.
Yeah, typical weather geek. I'm still looking at weather. So actually, we were just talking about this a minute ago. You know, there was almost a tornado disaster today. Dodge City, Kansas missed a major mile or half-mile wide tornado by 3 miles. That's just what happens in weather. I mean, every day there's something in the summer that could be big, but it's not always big. It just depends on what's going on.
I think it's that randomness that drew all of us to be doing what we do today, is the randomness of nature.
Well, and it's the mystery of it, too. I mean, you can study for years this stuff, but at the end of the day, Mother Nature is going to do what she wants to do, and it's that mystery that keeps us coming back. And we just talked about this in our summer forecast, just where kind of these tornado-prone areas are across the country. And you don't need to worry about this every day, but just be aware if you're in the prairies, southern Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick. I think there's an underrated tornado potential in the Northwest. We're not going to get a tornado in every place, but it's just something you got to be aware of when severe weather is in the forecast.
Chris, you know, there's a lot of companies. We do the weather. We do it really well. We're the best in Canada at doing it. There's tons of other companies that do weather. One of them says this is going to be a very dangerous summer in Ontario for storms. You're smiling because you know who we're talking about. Are they being overly dramatic?
Yes. There's always danger. We shouldn't overdo it, though. I mean, if you're a parent, let's say, you're always worried about stuff your kids might be doing. You're trying to keep them safe.
Right.
All you need to do with severe weather and tornadoes is just make sure on a day when we're forecasting big storms that you've got a plan. Know where your kids are. If skies turn stormy, then know how to get them to a safe place. But don't worry every day leading up to summer that there's going to be some epic storm. We're going to get them, but you can stay with us and be prepared for it.
We don't live in Kansas. We don't live in Texas. Climatologically, southern Ontario, southern Quebec, New Brunswick, different environment.
And, you know, there's two sides to the message.
Yeah.
One, don't panic at all, but be prepared, because we have not had a violent tornado in Ontario for 31 years. It's been 1985, so there's a whole generation that's never seen what a big one can do. It is going to happen sometime.
Yeah, it's
but
inevitable.
We don't have to worry about that happening every day.
Right.
All right, let's go check out the
Wait,
briefing.
I have a question
okay.
before we go. When was the last time the three of you were together on screen?
There was a Christmas party back 50 years ago.
Don't say anything.
That's on somebody's screen. I don't know. It wasn't on the television.
Shall we see where the brains of the operation is? Should we do that?
I'm right here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's the briefer.
Let's check that out. So the briefing meteorologist tonight is Aaron. This is Aaron.
Hi.
And I'm not just saying this. I think the briefing job is one of the hardest jobs in the company. The main reason why, not just because, you know, on-air people can tend to be a little bit, you know, they're really nice people. But to do this job, you've got to be a great communicator, a great team player, and be a scientist. And scientists don't always have the best communication abilities. So we have a dynamic, awesome briefing team. Aaron, what's going on tonight? Because this is live, so tell us maybe where the storms are in Canada. We, of course, saw them in the States, but we've got some in Ontario as well.
Yeah, we got some on Ontario, Manitoba as well, parts of Saskatchewan. So this is just a live look at the satellite radar across the country. But zooming in, you can see some storms starting to dissipate over, you know, central and southern Manitoba. We had some warnings into northwestern Ontario. Those have now been dropped, but as you can see, some pretty strong cells that went across are now just going towards the border. So that's just kind of what we're keeping an eye on here right now. And that's my job, to communicate the forecast, tell the on-air people what's going on. So as you can see, our watches and warnings have ended, but we're still watching those storms across Manitoba. Down in the U.S., though, is where our storm hunters are, and we're continuously watching, you know, the tornado situation down there. I heard you talking about it already, that we kind of dodged a bullet there in Dodge City.
Dodge City dodged a bullet.
There you go.
Now, one of the questions that came into us was, what's the difference between doing general daily forecasting versus the seasonal forecast? You know, basically, this is an excellent example. Chris just asked about whether we're going to see big storms. in southern Ontario, whether it's going to be a dangerous summer. It's hard to predict an hour out
Yeah,
what these
let
storms
alone
are going to do.
a couple months out. Yeah, exactly. You know, the atmosphere is constantly changing, so it's always so important to keep on it every single day and, you know, check your weather app and stay on tune or stay on top of all the weather alerts that are coming out. But it is extremely hard to forecast that far in advance to see what we're going to be seeing in terms of severity. But, you know, every single day we come in and we look at the atmosphere, what's it doing, and within an hour it can change drastically of what the models were predicting. So.
But I think that what's good about seasonal forecasting, when we do a summer seasonal forecast, and even when we look ahead a week, we have a really good sense of the flavor that the atmosphere wants to be that week, whether it's going to be like humidity's moving into Ontario. So therefore the flavor is going to change to be unpredictable as opposed to how staid it had been for the past 3 days. And that's, I think, where we have a real good sense on things.
Yeah, there's value in that because you don't have to worry every single day. You can kind of see what part of the week may be a little bit rough, and then as we get closer, we hone in on it, and then Aaron's got the radar, and you can exactly see where those cells are tracking.
Yeah. Got the ingredients. We'll just see how the cake turns out,
Yep,
right?
exactly.
In the
Yeah.
end. Sometimes it goes flat. We never know. I have 5 questions for you.
All right.
Okay.
And then I'll get 5 questions. Okay. All right. So I'll start you off nice and easy.
Okay.
Best summer driving song.
So there's 2, I would say. One is Running Down a Dream, Tom Petty. The other one is Wildflower by The Cult.
Oh, very good. I can see the wind in your hair and the and the window down. Okay. What do you think is the toughest province to forecast for?
Oh boy, that is a tough one.
That's my top.
Got to go with Alberta.
Yeah.
I also love Alberta because it changes so quickly. I mean, Lethbridge, remember one time forecasting, and Lethbridge went from +10 to -15 in 1 hour. Like, that's just,
That's insane.
everyone claims that you walk through the front door and walk out the back door and there's different weather in every part of the country. Nothing is like Alberta. Alberta just changes like that. So it's the toughest.
Okay. Favorite season from a meteorologist point of view.
So anything where the atmosphere is wild, so I'd say summer because of thunderstorms, but I also like winter, not so much for big winter storms, but for snow squalls. Because I love things that change quickly. I love seeing clear conditions and then just wickedness within the same field of view. That's awesome.
You've been here since '98. What is the top tech tool that has changed the way we do weather here at the Weather Network?
It's probably social media. Not for long-range forecasting, but for stuff like this. I mean, what we're doing tonight, tracking storms in northwest Ontario, one of the main tools is to see what people are seeing on the ground, to verify what radar and lightning are saying. And seeing that instantaneously, it's been a huge advance that we did not have even 10 years ago.
Okay, one more.
Yep.
Most dangerous season, weather-wise.
Well, technically it's winter. I think when you look at casualties because of snowstorms, because of traffic accidents. I think what summer does, it's that unpredictability that makes people afraid, that maybe makes it to be, in general, the more dangerous season. But it's just always about being prepared, just kind of knowing your risks and making sure you're taking the right actions.
All right, there you go.
Oh, question.
So we have a question from Jenny, and as much as I hate to bring up the W word, does the summer forecast this year have anything to